Thank you for calling online support. My name is Sam. How may I help you?
Hi everyone, welcome to this special video. Last night on Malcolm Merlyn's live stream, I was lucky enough to be the one to interview an ex-scammer. Now, the only credit I can take for this is that I was the one chosen to ask the questions, purely because it happened that my audio signal was the clearest for the ex-scammer to hear. All the credit must go to Scammer Slammer TV for the work he did in gaining the trust and confidence of the ex-scammer, who we shall call Nick for the purposes of the interview. Viewers of the live stream were able to post questions, and DeeVeeaar posted them to me in a text window so that I could pick and choose which question to ask and when without being distracted by the live stream. The interview took about 50 to 55 minutes and it was really enlightening. I really hope you enjoy this. It's a very special interview. I think it's one of a kind at the moment. Just to let you know, this video is also on Malcolm Merlyn's channel, and I have had express permission from him and from Scammer Slammer TV to post this video on my channel too. So sit back and relax and enjoy this one-of-a-kind video.
So, welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
Nightmare, you had a question for him to start off?
Yeah, hello Nick, it's nice to talk to you again. Yeah, there's been a few questions, but one of the ones I really wanted to know, when you joined the company that you used to work for, did you know what they were doing before you joined them?
No, actually not. What happened that I was looking for a job and I have uploaded my resume on job portals. As you know, that these kind of websites, they like sell the resumes to the hirers so that they can earn money. So I got an email coming from a company that is like very near to my home location. I went there for an interview and they didn't tell me that what they are going to like how planned for me and what I have to do there. So I went there for quite a few days and they had my documents kept for like verification. They asked me for my real documents. I gave them to, and after that, they like asked me to sign some documents, like kind of bound an agreement, and then I got stuck into that business. That's how I got to know that it's not a good thing that they are doing.
So they basically held you hostage by keeping your documents.
And yeah, you can say that.
That must have been awful. So when you realised the type of thing that they were asking you to do, how did that make you feel?
Oh, I felt very guilty. And then I found Marcus there. It's been like 15 days before, like when I joined, after 15 days, they didn't tell me like what I have to do. And after my 15 days of work there, then they put me on calls, and then I started working. Then I found it very bad, like old people, they are very innocent. They don't know what the thing is going on. And like young people, their children, their relatives, their friends, they give them a gift, like in the form of computers, phones, stuff like that. They don't know how to use them because they are not so like computer savvy. So then they found these kind of pop-ups on different websites they used to go, and then these kind of pop-ups, as you know, that they appear with like call this number, call that number.
Yeah.
And when they do, they fell in the trap. Like this is what it happens.
Wow. So that must have been awful for you. I can understand how in certain professions people get dragged into doing things they don't want to, but when you're told you're not going to get your documents back, how long was it before you got your documents back?
Well, according to the legal agreement I told you, they asked me to like work for at least 30 days, and as it's been only 15 days I've been working for that company to scam them, then I got my documents back after 15 days. But during that time I found Marcus there, the scammer family, I call him Marcus.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of good things. Like when I get chance, like I didn't scam people. I usually tell them that don't fall in this kind of trap. The people are stealing, but as you know that I was monitored. The people are keep on monitoring the calls of the people that are working for them. So I didn't miss, like, sometimes they have a kind of like a minimum amount of that they call a slab. Like, you have to cross this slab in order to have your money, in order to have your monthly wager, and that I did. I'm very sorry about it. Like, I had to do a $3,000 scam, but for an entire month. But I didn't do more than that.
Okay. You know you're live on a stream right now, and there's a few people watching, and some of them have asked questions, and I actually have a list of questions here. Would you mind, does anybody in the stream mind if I do the asking, or does anybody else want to ask? Because
I think you can go ahead. I'll just copy the best of them.
Okay.
And make sure you put the name of the person.
I was going to do that, yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Razvanov. I think I've said that right. If I'm wrong, I apologize. How many hours did you have to work every day?
Well, they have an agreement to work for at least 9 hours a day. But what happens, like, these companies, they used to have a daily kind of slab that you have to make. Like, the people are very greedy. They don't care that how many hours these people, like these cameras, have to sit there and do the callings for them. And at least these companies have different amount, like 5,000, 10,000. Until and unless you cross that amount, you're not allowed to go back to your home.
Oh, okay. So you could actually be there all day, effectively. You could be there until you've reached that amount of money. Yeah,
I remember one day sitting there for 12 hours.
Wow, that's a long day. That's a long day.
Yeah, it was.
Now then, some of these questions might seem a little uncomfortable. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, but these are things people want to know. There's Oligao, Stoliewgost. They want to know, what was the last lie that you told before you left the company?
Last lie? I really don't recall it, because it's been like last February. This February 28th, I left the company.
Yeah.
It was 20. I hope Marcus has told you about it, right?
Yes, he's told us, yeah.
Yeah, after that, I didn't work there, so I didn't recall the last lie, but I can remember one if you want.
I guess that might go on to what was the last scam that you did then before you left the company. I guess that could cover that.
It wasn't a scam. It was a rescue, I kind of say, and I put my life on risk about it. Like, not the life, but maybe myself at risk.
Yeah.
What happened?
So you put yourself at risk, yeah?
Yeah. What happened, like, there was a man, and a guy, he called to our call center. I used to work there, and there was the Steven. Marcus know him. So Steven asked him to get iTunes gift card of $100, and then he told him that I'm going to call you again tomorrow, and you are going to get another $100 gift card, so that I will be uploading those securities in your computer.
Yeah.
What happened? Accidentally, his call landed to me instead of. I answered him, and I told him all about the scam that is going on. And he was so innocent. Literally, I'm telling you that he is so innocent. Then he again called Steven and told him that there is a guy who is. I told the guy. I guess his name is Robert. His name was Robert, and I told Robert that I'm a hacker, and I have had this call center. And I am telling you that these people that you are calling, they are not from Apple support. They are actually stealing your money. And you don't have to pay them anything. You don't have to pay the $100 gift card. But then he asked me that, what happened to the card that I have given to him? I told him that he has, like, redeemed it for his own benefit. He has used that money, and you can't do anything about that card now. Then after that, Steven was sitting right at the backside of me. he has looked on my screen that I have a call by the same name of Robert.
Oh, so then he realized.
Then he realized that, oh, Robert Singer, maybe not the Robert Singer, so he think that I got the call. Then he opened his file, took the number out of it from the yesterday's log, and then he dialed Mr. Robert and asked him for the $100 gift card. Then Mr. Innocent Robert told him about me, that there is a guy who's telling that you are scammers and you are stealing his money. And I specifically asked Mr. Robert not to tell him about this. But he's so innocent, he told him. And Stephen even managed to get him in confidence again that, no, sir, we're not scammers, we are from Apple support, and this stuff happened. And again, he was ended up paying another $100.
Wow.
I tried my best to save his $100, but it's so innocent. Like, not him, but many people are so innocent. They even give the gift cards, they give their credit card numbers, even their CVVs. And lately, what the people were doing, they were taking screenshots of their, like, they open, you know about Costco, right? Costco.
Yeah.
So Costco asks for memberships, and when you go to Costco site in order to pay for the iTunes gift cards, like for email delivery, like when you put your credit card details, even your CVV number, they don't star it. Like usually when you go online payments, they hide your details by making them star, right?
Yeah.
This is a fault, or you can say a void on this Costco payment gateway, that it doesn't make them star. So what happens, like when you put your details there, these customers, the people on that call center used to take screenshot, even capture a photograph on their mobile phones, and then they like ask you, go to your Wi-Fi router, the internet is not working. Like, when you go to your Wi-Fi router, it is usually in another room or somewhere else. So when you go there, they again use those information in order to make more like orders from the Costco, and that stuff also happened. Like, no, they don't even stop there. Like after, like Costco has a limit of daily $500.
Yeah.
After ordering for $500 gift card, like they don't allow you to make more of these kind of orders. So then these people ask the old people that you are not able to order more gift cards, or the cards that you have asked for are not valid, they are not working, you have to go to the like physical store and then you have to buy these cards. And when they are like, what happened to the money that I have paid? I received the message from the bank, I received notification, I got emails from that the money is like taken out of my bank account. Then they say that, sorry sir, this money will be refunded in 24 hours. And they again fell for the trap.
Okay, Nick, that was a great answer. Thanks a lot for that. There's a question here by Railroad Engineer. He's asking, and to be honest, this is something I've wondered myself. When you ask someone to give you like an Apple Tunes or an iTunes card or some sort of gift card, what do you do with it once you've got that number? Because to me, it seems like you could only use that to buy Apple products.
Sorry, my friend, that is not a thing that let me tell you.
Okay, you didn't get into that then, or you didn't find out about that, I mean.
No, I found it. But what they used to do about it, I was investigating. I was trying to find like how to get money out of it. What happens? Like, as you know, there are developers for applications, right?
Yeah.
And they upload their applications on the App Store and the Google Play Store and like the online stores. And usually what happens, these are also the hackers, the web developers. What they do,
I see now.
like when you give them the gift card, they redeem in certain accounts, like fake accounts, usually. And from those accounts, they download applications. And when you download applications, the money goes to the developer. Yeah, to the developer.
That makes sense. I've wondered this for such a long time.
And also, like, yes, in-app purchases. You understand? Like, Like when you have to go to certain applications, like certain games, to level up, you have to purchase some stuff. And in order to purchase, you have to pay money, and that goes again from your account.
Okay.
So the people are also intermediate in between, like that's what happens.
So in other words, they're almost using Apple or iTunes as a money laundering service for themselves.
Yes.
So I've got quite a lot of questions to get through. I hope you don't mind me rushing a little bit.
No, that's fine.
How much did you actually get paid for working there? That came from Quinn McKinsey.
Okay.
McKinsey.
Well, $300
Is that per day, per week, per month?
per month.
Per month. So $300 per month. Okay.
Yeah.
And that wasn't matter whether you did one scam or 200 scams.
Yes.
You just get paid that fixed amount. So you weren't
No,
paid.
No, that's not right.
What you did. Okay.
You have to at least cross $3,000 slab in order to have your payment.
Okay. Right. This is from Aunt. He says, is the government of India doing anything about these companies and trying to help stop people getting exploited? Because I mean, obviously, there has been something in the media about Indian companies being raided, but I wonder if you knew anything about that from a local perspective.
Well, yes, there are news about these companies being raided by Indian police, but you know that corruption in a developing country is so high. I shouldn't say about the local police here, but I should say that there's a corruption. There was a corruption, and maybe it is not now according to the current government we have, but still people are corrupt, and it's human nature to become greedy.
Would you think would you have ever thought about going to the police yourself?
Well, yes. Believe it or not, I have even tried to call the FBI headquarters in US, and I've told them I have given them my real number, my Indian number, my email address, my home address as well, and they said, we can't do anything about it. You have to go to American embassy in your country, and maybe they can help you. This is FBI telling me that.
Yeah. So what about your local police in India, though? Would you have gone to the local police in India and told them about the company that had made you work for them?
Well, I told you that these people, like, they are taking a huge amount of money, what we make them for, right? So money makes them powerful, and the people, they usually have tie-ups with the local police and stuff like that. So, like, I thought it not a good idea to go to the local police because it will make me in danger, even my life at risk. I tried to go to the American police.
Yeah, I understand that. Do you think that you would have been made a target if you'd gone to the local police?
Yes.
Okay. I can understand how hard that must have made it for you. So you're not working for that company now. What are your plans for the future? That's actually Lolke Sok who's wanting to know that one.
No, for the future, let me tell you, my friend, I'm not I'm a guy with no, what should I tell you that? I'm a good educated person. I'm having my graduation done in physics honors. I'm physics honors graduate and currently pursuing my master's in computer application.
Okay.
Due to certain circumstances, that time I had to find a job. So I looked for an IT company. I uploaded my resume for a developer, and the mail that I got is for web development, to make web applications, websites, stuff like that. So I went for the interview. They asked me about my profile, and I gave them the interview. After taking my interview, they gave me a time for 5 to 6 days, and after that, you know the rest, right? What happened?
Yeah. Can I ask you another question then? This is from Urination. He wanted to know, or they wanted to know, do the call centers change their locations regularly?
Not the location, but their names.
The names, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the same call center might be called something else.
Yes, and about that, let me tell you one thing, how they manage to do it. They register it by a name and by a fake work. Like, let me register my company by private, and then I will pay the Indian government the taxes and the payments. Like, it's a good amount that they pay to the government in the form of taxes.
Yeah.
And after that, they show that they are doing something else. But instead, in the background, they are running how they work.
Okay, so they're changing things around all the time. And
yes, and yeah, also they are getting help from people in US as well.
Yeah.
Like the payment gateways.
One of the things I was wondering personally was, do the call centers share the numbers? You know, they have these toll-free numbers from the US. Do they swap them around or share them around at all? Or does one call center keep the same number?
No, what happens, like, you people go to different websites there in US and do different surveys. From those surveys, and they get the numbers. And the survey manager, like, whatever, like, you put your numbers, your details, they sell these kind of numbers and these information to the people, like, not in just India, but in Philippines, I guess in South Africa, and all the other nations that used to run these kind of call centers. So from there, they purchase these details, like data purchasing, mining. I don't know what the term for that is, but that's how they get the numbers.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's answered actually a couple of questions. Another question from Carmen Harmon. She's asking, I'm assuming gender, that's wrong of me. Do some of the normal workers really think they are techs and are helping people? Now, let me explain that a little bit, because I have an idea about this myself. Some of the technicians we speak to really are not terribly well educated, it would seem. They seem to just read from a script, and they work very gradually from a script, and then they pass that on to one of their supervisors. So do these low-level guys, do they actually think that they're doing a proper job, or do they know what they're doing?
No, they all know that what the shit is going around them, but what happens, like these kind of company, they, in order to get bigger margin, in order to have bigger profit, they hire the people with lesser education, so they have to pay them lesser amount than the educated people.
Okay.
That's why the supervisor that used to take over the call in order to these kind of situations, they are the guys that are getting the bigger amount, the well-educated ones.
Okay, so the lower educated guys are just used to screen the calls, and then they pass them on to the money earners.
Yes, and the lower people, they are getting nearly about $150 a month, and the middle kind of guys that I used to be at that point, I used to get 300, and the supervisor, they usually get to have like 500, nothing more than that.
Okay, that's amazing. DeeVeeaar has asked, how does Nick recommend we go about hunting the bosses of these organizations?
Well,
that's a big question. I've been down that road myself. It is a really long road.
I can't see this question in the chat here. Can you repeat the question?
It said, how does Nick recommend we go about hunting the bosses of such organizations?
Okay.
Some of these these messages may be way up the chat by now, because what's happened, one of the guys on stream, DeeVeeaar, has gone down the list of questions and has just pasted them onto a sheet for me to read from.
I'm trying to get the best questions.
Alrighty.
There's a lot of questions I wouldn't want to ask you, because some of the questions are not very nice, but these are the questions that seem reasonably sensible. So you may have seen this on the stream much earlier, because this might be an earlier question. I'm jumping up and down the list as well while I go.
Well, hunting down these authors is quite a troublesome work, because these kind of people, they usually remain at home. They don't show their faces. They don't come to the office. They have these kind of managers working for them, and below the managers, the supervisors, and below them, the usual staff. And the people, they don't even register the company on their names. They hire managers and different people. As you know that. That's how
Yeah.
they get out of the trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, let's have
We really respect your decision, by the way, Nick. We really do.
Thank you. I
this
promised.
this has been a great call
Mark.
so far. We so appreciate your honesty. Okay. Natural bow black cat. No, neural blow black cat. Sorry. Apologies if I get them wrong. Do you fear what would happen if the people who hired you find you or find out that you've been talking?
They can't do anything about it now. I'm a free man,
You've
and
moved away.
I can do my.
So, do you feel like you were actually a victim of of this company in a way?
Not the company, but the circumstances, I should say.
Okay, that was Beavis 63. So you were a victim of circumstance, as in the situation that arose as around
Righty.
you applied
Right.
for what you thought was an actual real job and turned out to not be.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, let me quickly. Okay, this one might be a little awkward. This is from Jim Costas. He's asking, how many people did you actually successfully scam? If you don't mind asking.
Well,
I told you some of these questions might be getting.
yeah, that's fine, because I am here to answer all these questions, because they are making them aware, and not only the watcher of your channel, but they will also share this information with their friends, and then their friends will share them with their friends.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here helping Marcus. I know
That's
Marcus
good.
only here.
Yeah. Okay. But we're all a group here. We all do the same thing together, so we all know each other.
Okay. Well, coming to your question, I guess I had to cross the 3,000 slab, and 30 plus people I did, because I usually steal very low, 100, not
Yeah.
more than that,
Okay.
because that's is the kind of amount. If you
You just
lose,
did-
you don't get in trouble.
You just did the basic amount that you really needed to do to keep the job
Yes.
going, I suppose.
Yes.
Do you have any friends that still work for these for this company or for these companies?
Well, I really didn't make any friends there, because the people there, they I felt guilty myself. I wanted to get out of that company. I usually cry, what I am doing here. I have to get out. But the people there, they are justifying themselves, why they are doing it, because they think that if you take a bucket out of sea, it won't make the sea drain.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they think like that.
So there's a comment made by Obscure Perspectives. It says, do people at the company feel remorse, or is it just a job? Now, obviously, to some people, it's a job, and a job that they do and they get good at, and some people, like yourself, they hate every moment of it. So I guess some people must feel remorse.
Yeah, some people should, and maybe they do like I did, and that's why they left these kind of company, and because of which there is always these company hiring new people, always.
Okay.
They never stop hiring new guys.
Right. And the co-workers that around you, were they stuck there as well, or were they was there a mixture of people who were conned into being there and people who wanted to be there because of the money they were earning?
Well, yes, everybody has an opportunity to get out of these kind of people, these kind of work after like a minimum 30 days or so, because that's the agreement that you have to like fulfill. After that, if someone is staying there, then they are enjoying it, and they are like, maybe I'm not I shouldn't say enjoying it. Maybe they had like circumstances that are asking them to work there. But
Yeah.
if they are doing it, like I say that whatever the circumstances is, my friend, don't make the circumstances bad for the people that you are stealing from.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I've spoken to some scammers who really seem to enjoy what they're doing.
Yes, they do.
And they take great delight in getting money out of people or messing
Swearing
about
them.
with people's machines and swearing and things like that. Even when they have no idea that I'm talking to them as a scam baiter, they think I'm a real customer. They don't know I'm not until the last minute usually, but they still want to mess my computer up, you know, before and do things like apply Siski and things like that, just to stop me, getting away from it. This might be a hard one for you. I'm not sure if you want to do this, but would you tell us the name of your boss? Because we have a feeling we might know who it is.
I can tell you any name. Like, why do you want to know the name of the
That's
boss?
not a serious
like,
question.
Okay.
Yes,
that was
it's
just
not a serious.
okay then. Like I say, none of these questions are serious.
Oh, I have one if I can ask you, Nick.
This is DeeVeeaar.
Yeah, sure.
How many of us did you have on the telephone each day?
Well, last time that I was working in that company, we used to pick usually 1,000, nearly like 300 to like near about 200 to 300 calls a day.
And were a lot of them like prank calls?
What happened, like, let me tell you how that worked. They buy the numbers, they have a software that is a dialer, they put the list in the dialer, and the dialer keep ringing the people again and again and again. So whenever they pick the call, it lands to any of these, like, people that working for them. So usually it doesn't take more than 5 to 10 seconds in between the calls. So the like a 9-hour shift, you can understand, like, if you are getting like 10 successful calls of 30 minutes.
He's asking you how many of the calls were from scam baiters. How many calls from scam baiters did you get?
It was from you only, Marcus.
All right, only one.
So we need to call more people.
So we need to...
Thanks for your answer.
Okay,
let me just, more, I guess Nightmare will.
Yeah, let me just have a quick look. I'm just trying to find some I haven't answered indirectly as well. I think I've answered most of the questions on the list. First of all, this is from Corrosive. She says that a lot of us support you and respect your decision to leave. And, you know, Marcus says he's a good guy, did a few scam baits with him. Asking if you want to join us to do a scam bait. That would be interesting. Do you know anybody? This is from Diana Van Dyne. Do you know anybody in the scamming business that's ever been arrested?
No. Well, I don't have that kind of like big experience and big knowledge about this work. I only worked for like 28 days in the February month.
Right. So there was no interest in the call center that you were at. I take it was quite a large call center.
Right.
Yeah. Donald G has asked, do you think there is an end in sight to the scammer epidemic?
Well, it could be if the people in the US is also helping yourself. Because the people in the US, they are also playing a key role in the business.
By being victims?
Not by victims, but by being, intermediary. They run like payment gateways, they run the business by which they provide toll-free numbers, they provide numbers to these call centers, and they also sell the data, like the service that they run, the people information to these scammer companies.
One of the last questions I have on my list here. Okay, there's a couple more. What happened the day that you quit? This is from Steve Hopp. I think he wants to know was how did your bosses react and, that sort of thing.
Well, it doesn't matter to them because if I'm leaving, 10 more guys are waiting in the queue to join them. So it doesn't matter to them. Like,
so you're a tiny part of their huge machine.
Yes.
So when you said, I'm leaving, they just said, okay, make your desk empty. Somebody else is waiting to sit in it now.
Yes. And they even, stopped my payment for 10 days. And this is the reason why I asked, Marcus to, hold on for 10 days, at least let me have the money.
Yeah. Bally Brood Boy has asked, do you in India think that all Westerners are healthy? Wealthy, not healthy, wealthy.
Well, the people with lesser knowledge, they don't know the circumstances, they don't know the culture and people there, they think that, oh, he's a white guy, he must be having a huge amount of money. They think, still, the difference in the monetary, $1 of United States is equal to 67, I guess, in Indian rupees.
Right.
That's why they think that if you are making $10, that is equal to 670. That is a huge amount here.
Yeah. So in terms of earnings, people in the West are actually earning a lot more, but then there's the cost of living to take into account. So things aren't necessarily different. One of the last questions I can see on here is from James Shepherd. He wants to know what percentage of the calls that you made might have actually resulted in a sale or a contract being made.
Okay. In a day, they make $5,000, $5,000.
Yeah.
In a single day. So, summing up to, on an average, the sale is about of $300. So if you divide it, is 20, okay. I guess.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that if you could sell a $500 package, for example, say you could sell one for a lifetime support, you'd only have to sell 10 of those per day. And if you're making 300 odd calls per day, then it's only 10 out of 300.
Yes.
Or if you were making $300 sales and you had to make your $5,000, that's 15, 17 calls. Roughly 17 of those 300. So it's not a huge percentage to make your target, but I guess some people might be lucky and get more calls or make more than the 5,000, depending on how good they are at convincing the person on the other end of the phone.
This 5,000 target, it is for entire company for complete day.
Yeah.
And they used to entire companies getting around 1,000 calls a day because 10 to 12 people are working on in a small company that I used to work. That 10 to 12 people are working on the same floor at the same time.
Yeah.
So that happens. If the company is bigger, the target is bigger. If the company is smaller, they are closing the day with a lesser amount.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So your company's target was $5,000 for the day, and all of you had to work until that was achieved. Did you have a personal target, or was it just the company's target?
Personal target was not on the daily basis. As I mentioned earlier, it is 3,000 for a month.
Okay, understand. Right, now then, I seem to have run out of questions, I think. All the ones that are on my list I have asked or already asked or got answered mostly. Hang on a minute.
Let me check one more time in the... let me see in the chat.
There's one from Arndt which says, what would the consequences have been if Nick had sabotaged the calls himself? In other words, you were making the calls, but you weren't trying hard to actually sell the product. I think we've sort of answered that a bit, because you had to make your targets anyway, so you would have sat there till it happened, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions here, Nick, but a lot of them are very similar, so I'm trying very quickly to whiz over them.
The chat is going crazy, so yeah, we have to filter it out a little bit.
I've stopped looking at the chat. It's just too much information.
Don't worry, I'll filter them out.
Okay.
If there's any more good ones, then
Okay.
I'll post them.
Okay. Nick, is there anything you want to ask us?
To you guys, like you,
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask anything, but I must say that you are doing a great job, like making people aware if they are getting benefit out of it. But if they are not like being knowledgeable out of these things, then neither you, neither we, can do anything about it.
Yeah. Okay. So if it wasn't for us, as in the community of scam baiters, really people would just be ignorant to the fact. There'd be a few people who felt they'd been scammed but wouldn't know about it. So we're raising awareness. Have many of the scammers over there heard particular names of scam baiters? For example, Malcolm Merlyn. Is that a common name over there, for example?
No. Well, I worked for like 28 days or so, and Marcus was the only guy that used to like scam bait that company. So I found him, and like most of the people, they showed me his website and his YouTube channel as well. That's how I came to know about him, and then I texted his website. He is in chat box. And Malcolm Merlyn, well, is not a popular guy in that company, at least during that time.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry,
Malcolm. You weren't famous there.
We have to work harder.
Okay, this is from James Kleckner. Kleckner? Yeah, Kleckner, yeah. This is like almost a 3-part question. So how were you monitored? Were you scored or rated, and were there opportunities to advance?
Yes, I can see he's Christian. Just a bit after the scammer slammer. Yes.
Okay, I'm not looking at the stream. I can't see the stream right now. So yeah.
Okay. Yes, James. We are being monitored. As you know that we are getting the phone calls from these people. So in order to have the entire system running, they have servers and the IT guys there. So the supervisors, they used to monitor the calls of their team, because the entire floor is divided into different kind of teams, and each team has a supervisor if the lower guy is not able to handle the call, because every call costs them few money, like something around $1 to $3, usually depend upon the kind of calls you are getting. Yes, coming to the second question, how they are scored and rated. In order to score, they score us on the basis of the percentage of calls we are getting are transferred into successful sales, and the amount of the sales we are doing in an entire day. That's how we are scored and rated. And the third question, opportunities to advance. Yes, there are. Like, you join a company at the very lower end, and when you are becoming a better salesperson, a good scammer, then you are advanced to the supervisor to monitor the new coming guys. Just give it 6 to 10 months, and then you are maybe the manager itself.
All right, so
that is a very small company.
So it's quite a traditional company organization then, in many ways, where you'd come in as a low down, at a low level and work yourself up. But it seems probably because of staff turnover and things like that, I expect that the there are times or opportunities to promote quite often. What was the technology like in the call center? There's Lord Artek has asked what kind of setup you're using, what type of phone systems and computer systems and so on.
Okay, I guess the sir is having some understanding of like local server LAN networking. So what they do, they hire or like take on lease or purchase any like dialer system. They install it on all the computers. Every scammer has its own desk. So they are connected to the single server that the IT guy monitors, the administrators. And from like they used to have a static IP, the public IP, you people say it. So the calls usually come from VoIP to that IP, and the server like distribute it over the different computers or the person that is free to answer these calls. And if no one is free, they keep you online.
Okay. Right, so the computer system and the dialer and everything else basically decides how much work you're going to do. That keeps you going, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, let's move outside the office for a bit, yeah? What did you do? Did you get lunch breaks and things like that?
Well, yes. The lunch break is usually, they gave us a 1 hour break in a 9-hour shift, but that's on the documents. In the real life, like, they don't let everyone to have the lunch break at a specific time. They give the breaks according to the workload. If you are getting like high amount of calls on the line waiting for someone to pick up, they don't let you go. But if you are having free time, like the call flow is very slow, then they let one by one people to have their break, and that's end up usually in between 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. So did you ever socialize during your breaks? Was there anybody in the company that you were social with at all?
Well, yes, the desk mate, the person sitting right next to me, actually he was my supervisor. During my stay, he taught me some stuff like how to be a successful scammer, how to do that. Well, he was the one that I was socialized with, and the second guy is Marcus itself.
Okay. So, let me see. One more question. Okay, what sort of when you joined the company? I know you already said that you joined the company because you were needing a job quite urgently. But did you live close to where you worked, and or was it part of? Was there any like accommodation supplied, or was it just something that you had to find for yourself? That was Pokemon Go player also wanted to ask that one.
Yes, like the company was like in Indian we have metric scale. It's like 15 kilometers. Converting it to miles, I don't know, like 10 miles. Yes, 10 miles would be the
10
answer.
miles roughly. Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 miles was the distance from my home.
Okay.
And usually these kind of companies, they provide you cab facility, like pick up and drop facility from your home location. And that they used to give so that the people that they are working for them feel comfortable. And also, like, if you're coming by yourself, you might be late sometimes.
Yeah. So
but
they
if
like
the company's providing you.
So they like to control even what time you get to work and what time you leave by controlling the taxi that you get to and from work.
Yes.
So in a way, it's another form of control, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Like these companies, they used to pick up like 5 to 6 person in a single cab. It's like Omni van. So like if you are living like the farthest, you have to wait for the entire route. During the traffic jams, it's usually keep them waiting in the cab for like 1 to 2 hours in order to reach to the company itself. Like they pick up you before 1 hour or 2 hours.
Right.
Working. So when adding it to like
so you have to add that to your working
time
time as well. Yeah.
Yes. So they end up with like working 15 to 16 hours for that company.
And so you get home after 16 hours and then you get 8 hours to yourself. And that basically, yes. I expect you were so exhausted you just slept for that 8 hours.
Yeah, right.
It's a tough thing. Let's see. Who do you like best, Hillary or Trump? I don't
Trump.
know. I don't know who asked that question. I think that was Lolkey Sock.
Yay, Trump.
Yay, Trump. I think we've sort of come to the end of the questions. What does everybody else think?
Yeah, I think so too. I told the chat that the questions are now closed. I think that sums it up nicely.
I think that has. So, Nick, I have to thank you on behalf of the stream, in behalf of myself and Malcolm, DeeVeeaar, Key, Corrosive, and Slammer, and of course all the people watching. As I'm sure you can see, you're watching the stream yourself. There's nearly 279 people watching just now, which is or 278 if you're one of them. So it's been brilliant, and I'm so honoured to have been asked to ask the questions, and it's been wonderful talking to you. I hope one day we can have a private chat, and but of course that's up to Slammer. You're his friend.
And the best for the future to you.
Thank you.
What are you waiting for, sir? Go check out our game. Orale!
Well, I think you'll agree that was pretty special. As I said at the end, I was honoured to be able to ask Nick these questions. He seems such a nice, genuine guy. He was put in a position that was really difficult, and he seemed to have made the best choice by getting out of it as soon as he was practically able to. I wish him all the best in the future. And once again, thank you to Malcolm Merlyn and to Scammer Slammer TV for letting me put this video on my channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click on like or leave a comment, or if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you do subscribe, remember to click on the little bell symbol. That way you'll be the first to know when new videos are released. Thanks for watching.